It's Mindful Monday, and it's the day after another, and I was reflecting tonight how everything you believe, literally in a moment, can be expanded and transformed into something else. So over the past few years, I made a series of posts on Facebook called Invitations. And yesterday's class reminded me of 3 of those posts. One of them was a quote from a professor of mine in existential literature: regret is a useless emotion. 2 other posts had to do with experiencing the kindness of strangers. And the power of living in the question. And there were a series of 3 posts about that. The one that comes to my mind right now was a question that was asked of me: what do you do? So, for all of my adult life, that quote by my professor, Dr. Sturman, regret is a useless emotion, guided me and supported me to assume responsibility for my choices. The essence of the context was, there's no point in feeling regret. That when you make a choice and you don't like the outcome, make a different choice. As simple as that. And that is a point of view, if you would, that for me, it feels like it comes from a place of knowledge and logic. It was incredibly useful to me. Yesterday's experience with David came from a very different place. So he too talked about regret. For David, though, in his sharing, regret was not a useless emotion. It was incredibly powerful and potentially life-changing. And he reframed my own relationship to that word and that feeling, literally in one sentence. And what he shared was that for him, regret was incredibly powerful. For regret was a doorway, if you would, in which you could change your relationship to the future, to your future. And in that sentence, it was like everything I thought I knew got turned upside down. And when I combine that with his sharing from the week before about being a pilgrim, not only on an outward journey, but on an inward journey to the stranger who lives within me. The stranger that I am committed to learning even more about, that I am committed to supporting to achieve even more self-mastery and self-awareness. So the next posts about the kindness of strangers, David also shared through poetry. And I could feel this interconnectedness, this web of experience in which, instead of looking at everything from a point of view of information, that my view in these last 2 weeks has deepened even more. And I feel even more that human sense of connection. The connection of the commonality of experience. So my experience of regret, for example, or my experience of the kindness of strangers is not someone else's. It truly is my experience. That experience offers me an opportunity to open my heart even more, to allow myself to be even more vulnerable, and to feel the incredible strength that comes from nothing to defend. And that feeling of connection, that someone sees you, someone who owes you nothing, who has no history with you, who is kind for the sake of kindness. So I think almost of rewriting my book, Invocation to Mindfulness, because I realize now that experiences that I shared, quotes that I posted, they were valuable and important to me. And they are living things that are still changing within me, still transforming, still growing, still supporting me to become even more human. I am so grateful for this class that I said yes to. And I am reminded of how in our life, in my life, there are these golden yeses. You know, we say yes to a class, we say yes to a trip, we say yes to meeting a new person, and we never know where that yes is going to take us. So today on Mindful Monday, I celebrate gratitude and opportunity and testimony, really, that it is life for me, and balance for me, and integration for me is not about one or the other. It's not about totally living in intuition. It's not about being logical all the time. It is about that marriage of my mind and my spirit and my feelings, if you would. That it is in that trinity of union that I grow and that I claim even more humanity for myself. So on this wonderful day, on this Mindful Monday, I wish that for you, that incredible awareness that comes as you integrate your life experiences over and over again, that you keep adding something to the mix and you discover even more, that you grow even more, that you become even more of who you are. I know that I'm loving the journey. I hope you do too.